Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. As cases and deaths continue to rise, a national lockdown is being discussed to break the chain, say India's top medical experts on this. Also, the principal scientific advisor says prepare for phase 3. This will now keep coming in waves. According to the government, Goa now has India's highest positivity rate, nearly 50%. Haryana, Bengal and Delhi are now in the top 5 worst states according to their positivity rate. The Supreme Court's 10:30 a.m. deadline for a Delhi oxygen plant to the centre. Meanwhile, DRDO oxygen plants come up in 48 hours at AIIMS and Ram Manohar Lohia. Also, 9 Navy warships are now bringing oxygen to India. On NDTV tonight, the Deputy Chief Ministers of 2 states amongst the worst hit cities as well, Delhi and Bengaluru. The BJP's raid at the Bangalore COVID war room, but questions asked on whether this is a Hajj or Madarsa controversy, as Muslim employees singled out by BJP MP and MLAs. WhatsApp messages then called them terrorists, but meanwhile in the bribes of bed scam, 2 are arrested. India's foreign minister and the Indian delegation is currently in isolation in London after 2 members of the Indian delegation to the G7 meet test positive. Mr. Jaishankar will now attend this meet virtually. Mamata Banerjee is sworn in as Chief Minister for the 3rd time, the only woman Chief Minister in India. She announces a tough lockdown in West Bengal. No local trains will be running either. Meanwhile, outrage over fake videos of violence, but the BJP says 14 people have been killed. Mamata Banerjee has blood on her hands. And amidst our phase, which is getting worse and worse, crowded religious rituals continue. This from Gujarat amid COVID. Our lead story tonight, well, as India continues to record our highest cases and deaths, phase 3 is inevitable, said the principal scientific advisor, adding we must prepare for new waves. Also, Dr. V.K. Paul, who heads the special task force looking into COVID, said that the discussion is on whether there should now be a national lockdown, adding also that B1.617, the Indian mutant variant behind the current surge, is extremely transmissible and is behind the current surge.
Where does SARS coronavirus 2 go from here? A phase 3 is inevitable, given the high levels of circulating virus. But it's not clear on what time scale this phase 3 will occur. Hopefully, incrementally, but we should prepare for new waves. Previous infections and vaccines will cause adaptive pressure on the virus for new kinds of changes which try to escape it. And therefore, we should be prepared by scientifically to take care of that. So B117, other variants like 617 are accumulating changes which show excellent vaccines, on which vaccines show excellent efficacy, but ongoing surveillance is needed and vaccine updates as we go ahead with new kinds of variants are inevitable.
जब वायरस का स्प्रेड बढ़ता है, एक्सेसिव होता है, तो चेन्स ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन को रोकने के जो बाकी एफर्ट्स हैं उनके साथ में रिस्ट्रिक्शंस को भी बीच में लाया जाता है. और इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में 29 अप्रैल को detailed guideline issue करी गई हैं. Those options are always being discussed, and those decisions as required will be taken. But at the same time, remember, this already there is a very significant guidance to the states to impose restrictions in order to suppress the chains of transmission.
So is that likely to be a reality? Well, joining me tonight, I'll be joined by 2 Deputy Chief Ministers of 2 key states which are currently battling COVID. First, of course, joining me is Mr. Manish Sisodia. I'll also be joined by Dr. Ashwath Narayan of Karnataka. Manish Sisodia ji, thanks so much for being on the show. Well, today the government said there is some sign that Delhi's cases are plateauing. That's good news for Delhi. The positivity rate also slightly down. But also the Supreme Court today has given the centre till 10:30 tomorrow morning to give 700 metric tons of oxygen to Delhi. Are you relieved? Do you think this will actually happen?
मेरे ख्याल से होगा, बिकॉज देयर इज नो रीजन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अपना मैनेजमेंट और टाइट करेगी, और उन्होंने जिस तरह से हमें 378 से 590 हमारा एलोकेशन बढ़ाया और धीरे धीरे आज 550 मीट्रिक टन का हमें ऑक्सीजन मिला है, तो आई एम श्योर कि 700 भी मिल सकता है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट में खुद सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने बोला था कुछ दिन पहले कि हमारे पास इंडिया इज ए सरप्लस ऑक्सीजन कंट्री, सो ऑक्सीजन की कमी नहीं है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के मैनेजमेंट की कमी है। तो अब यही शायद वो मौके होते हैं जब सारी संस्थाएं अपना अपना फर्ज निभाती हैं, और कहीं कोई एक संस्था अगर किसी तरह से मैनेजमेंट में चूक करती है तो दूसरी साथ देती है। तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज जो बोला है वो ओवरऑल मैनेजमेंट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और कल सुबह हमें उम्मीद है कि इतनी ऑक्सीजन जितनी दिल्ली को अभी जरूरत है, एक दिन में 24 घंटे में जितनी जरूरत है, कल से अगर मिलने लगेगी तो हमारे लिए बहुत राहत की खबर होगी।
No, and it will be a big relief for everyone in Delhi. But Manish Sisodiya ji, we just spoke to so many patients who said, and families who said that they have lost loved ones in the last 10 days because there's been no oxygen. We saw what happened in Delhi's hospitals, it's happened in Karnataka's hospitals, it's happened in Gurgaon's hospitals. Why is it? The Allahabad High Court said yesterday that people dying of lack of oxygen is genocide. Would you agree with that? Would you say that if governments, whether it's the Delhi government or central government or Haryana government, can't give oxygen, that politicians are responsible for genocide?
Actually, we should accept that this is a management failure, and at every end, मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा कि दिल्ली सरकार की कोई गलती नहीं है या फलानी सरकार की गलती है। ओवरऑल जिस तरह की बीमारी महामारी आई है और जितना इसका स्केल है, वहाँ हम सबका मैनेजमेंट छोटा पड़ता जा रहा है, और इसीलिए कोर्ट्स इंटरवीन करके अब सारे जहां भी कहीं कहीं कोई प्लग इन लूप होल्स हैं उनको प्लग इन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। निश्चित रूप से मैनेजमेंट और बेहतर हो सकता था या अभी भी होना चाहिए, ताकि जैसा आज हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री ने कहा है कि अगर थर्ड फेज आता है, इसका थर्ड वेव आता है नेशनल वाइड, तो और ज़्यादा हमें तैयार होने की ज़रूरत है। सो आई कम्प्लीटली एग्री कि अगर 21st सेंचुरी में कोई ऑक्सीजन की कमी की वजह से मरता है, तो एज ए नेशन, एज ए सिस्टम, we all have to look back कि हम कहाँ जाना चाहते थे और कहाँ पहुँचे हैं।
How is it? I'm sure that you are currently in the war rooms also of the Delhi government. I saw today that you went to hospitals in the ICUs. What do you say? What does Mr. Kejriwal say when people reach out to you and say, where is the government? What do you tell them, or how do you respond when people are pleading for their families or their loved ones' life?
No, we are trying our best। जहाँ दिल्ली में 6000 बेड्स थे, हमने 20,000 बेड्स कर दिए ऑक्सीजन के, और इस बात को लोग समझ रहे हैं कि जितना स्केल है उसके हिसाब से सारे सिस्टम को बहुत स्क्वीज करके, स्ट्रेच करके इसमें से कितनी व्यवस्थाएं की जा सकती हैं। 20,000 बेड्स, अभी 21,000 बेड्स हैं, हमारे 8,000 बेड्स और तैयार हैं। अगर एप्रोप्रिएट एलोकेशन ऑक्सीजन का हमें मिलने लगता है, दिल्ली के हॉस्पिटल्स के लिए डिलीवर होने लगता है, तो हम 8,000 बेड्स बहुत तेजी से बढ़ा सकते हैं। हमारी ये तैयारी है। बट अगेन मेरा ये है कि इसमें ब्लेम गेम से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि जितना मिलके, जितना एक दूसरे के साथ सहयोग करके, कहीं से कुछ इग्नोरेंस भी है तो उसको दूर करके जितना मिलके हम काम कर सकेंगे, उतना अच्छा दिल्ली और देश के लोगों को बचाने के लिए कर सकेंगे।
No, I absolutely agree कि this time is absolutely to put together all political differences, all community differences. In fact, that is one thing people ask, that, you know, we in India, we always look at how much money we can spend on statues. We look at money we can spend on temples. We look at money we can spend on mosques. We never looked at money on how much we spend on hospitals. And that's why we are in this situation today. AAP, I know, has focused on education, mohalla clinics, but perhaps now we need to change our scale completely. We need to change the way politics is done in India, because this is what has failed us.
नहीं होना चाहिए दिल्ली की, क्या देश भर की पॉलिटिक्स एजुकेशन और हेल्थ के इर्द गिर्द होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि हेल्थ और एजुकेशन ऐसी बेसिक जरूरतें हैं जिससे समाज की प्रोग्रेस भी होती है और परिवारों की प्रोग्रेस होती है। और आज पेंडेमिक के समय में हम अगर अपने अंदर ये रेजोल्यूशन नहीं लेते हैं कि हम अब इस देश में जात पात की, धर्म की, जो जितने नफरत की राजनीति है उसको हटा के हेल्थ पे काम करने वाली और हेल्थ एजुकेशन जैसे मुद्दों पे अकाउंटेबल पॉलिटिक्स को अपने देश में जगह देंगे। बट फिर से मैं कहूंगा कि दिस इज नॉट टाइम टू डिस्कस पॉलिटिक्स, दिस इज द टाइम टू डिस्कस व्हाट बेटर मैनेजमेंट कैन वी डू मिनट बाय मिनट। आई कैन टेल यू कि जिस समय मैं अपने वॉर रूम में ऑफिसर्स के साथ बैठा होता हूं और जब ऑक्सीजन की बहुत ज्यादा, जब 700 यूनिट की हमें 700 एमटी की जरूरत थी और हमारे पास 350 एम्प्टी ऑक्सीजन होती थी, तो उस वक्त हम ही जानते हैं कि हम कैसे मैनेज कर रहे थे, किसका ऑक्सीजन किसको रिक्वेस्ट करके कि आप 2 टन की जगह 1 टन से काम चलाइए, तब तक दूसरा ट्रक आएगा, मैं आपको 1 टन और भेज दूंगा थोड़ी में। सबको एक दूसरे से मिलके बांट के जिस तरह से हमने 350 एम्प्टी में काम चलाया है, वो बहुत नाइटमेयर है। मैं 3-4 दिन हमारे ऐसे बीते हैं कि रात को 3 बजे भी हम ये प्रार्थना कर रहे होते थे कि किसी तरह से कहीं से थोड़ी सी भी कोई ऐसी न्यूज ना आ जाए जो ऑक्सीजन की कमी की वजह से कोई ऐसी मिसहैपनिंग ना हो।
No, I don't think Delhi and any of us have ever lived through times like this, and I know how difficult it must be for everyone involved in this. But Manish Sisodiya ji, today we've heard that there is a discussion on for a national lockdown. Do you think that we must do a national lockdown, even though there is an economic impact on that, on the poorest of the poor, and the Chief Minister has never really favoured a full lockdown in that sense? But do you think the time has now come for a national lockdown?
दिल्ली में हम लोगों ने लॉकडाउन, पार्शियल लॉकडाउन या जिसको जो भी बोलिए वो किया हुआ है, और हम इसके बावजूद मानते हैं कि लॉकडाउन इज नॉट द सॉल्यूशन, क्योंकि दिल्ली में केसेस इतने ज़्यादा बढ़े, उसके बाद लगा कि अगर इसी स्पीड से बढ़ते रहे तो फिर हॉस्पिटल सिस्टम पूरा ब्रोकन हो जाएगा, उसके बाद में कंट्रोल नहीं हो सकेगा, इसलिए लॉकडाउन का फैसला लेना पड़ा। पर क्या देश में ऐसी स्थिति है, या जहां जिन राज्यों में जिन शहरों में ऐसी स्थिति है, वो बहुत सोच समझ के फैसला लेने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि लॉकडाउन के अपने रिपरकशंस बहुत हैं। कोरोना से हो सकता है हम जान बचा लें, लेकिन और वजह नई वजह बन जाती हैं जान जाने की, इसलिए लॉकडाउन इज नॉट ऑलवेज द बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन, इट इज द अल्टीमेट स्टेप दैट वन कैन डू टू प्रिवेंट द कर्व। मतलब जितना तेजी से बढ़ रहा होता है उसको थोड़ा सा फ्लैटनिंग करने में मदद ले सकते हैं, बट लॉकडाउन इज नॉट द सॉल्यूशन।
What do you think, Manish Sisodiya ji, that now we've seen a slight dip in Delhi's cases? Even the government has said that maybe Delhi's cases are plateauing. This is when there is a partial lockdown. When do you see this partial lockdown ending? What does the Delhi government have in mind? And do you think that we have actually crossed the curve, or do you think it's too early to say that? Also, what's very worrying is that vaccinations and testing are both dipping in Delhi, not just in Delhi, but across India. But testing and vaccinations are both down. And we know that's our only weapon against the virus.
टेस्टिंग दिल्ली में तो काफ़ी है, अभी भी हम 60 से 80 हज़ार के बीच में लगातार टेस्टिंग कर रहे हैं। हमने 1-1 लाख लोगों की टेस्टिंग भी पर डे में की है। कब होगा लॉकडाउन का, पार्शियल लॉकडाउन का क्या होगा, ये थोड़ा सा अभी कहना मुश्किल है। क्लोजर टू एंड ऑफ दिस वीक विल अगेन रिव्यू द होल सिचुएशन। फ्लैटनिंग के कुछ इंडिकेशंस हैं, जैसा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के हेल्थ एक्सपर्ट्स ने भी बोला, हम भी डेटा पे पूरा नजर रखे हुए हैं। इसको 10 दिन के पिछले किसी भी दिन हम पिछले 10 दिन के पॉजिटिविटी रेट से कंपेयर करते हैं, और अगर हम देखें 10 दिन का देख के, तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि एक फ्लैटनिंग इंडिकेशन ये दे रहा है। थोड़ा सा नीचे भी हुआ है, बट अभी हम हमेशा सोचते हैं कि कोरोना के बारे में कुछ भी प्रेडिक्ट करना बहुत मुश्किल है। सो अभी भी वी आर जस्ट फिंगर्स, क्रॉस आवर फिंगर्स। वैक्सीन के लिए आपने पूछा, वैक्सीन की हमारी पूरी तैयारी है। सीएम साहब भी पूरा रिव्यू कर रहे हैं कि हमें अगर वैक्सीन उपलब्ध हो जाती है तो किसी भी तरीके से हमको 1-3 महीने के साइकिल में 2 बार सबको डोज दे देनी है। अगर हम 3 महीने के साइकिल में पूरी दिल्ली की पॉपुलेशन को 2 बार डोज दे देंगे, तो उसके बाद इसकी पूरी चेन ब्रेक होगी वायरस की। ये हमारा प्लान है, लेकिन अब इसमें ऑफ कोर्स नेशनल लेवल पर कितनी वैक्सीन अवेलेबल है, उसमें से दिल्ली को कितनी मिल सकती है, ये सारे भी अब उसमें सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो एक समय पे डिसाइड होंगे।
Right. Well, I think the first priority right now is saving people's lives. Thank you, Manish Sisodiya, for joining me on the news at 8 o'clock, and with your perspective, hopefully Delhi will improve tomorrow. Thank you so much. Let's just look at what are the worst states now as positivity rate. And remember Goa, now that's where everyone is heading for holidays. Goa is now the worst state in the country with a positivity rate of nearly 5%. Following that are states like Haryana and then Bengal and Delhi. So you can see there West Bengal and then Delhi. So you can see there, these are the states are real worries for positivity rates. Well, joining me now is the city, the state, which is the new epicenter in a sense of corona, and that's Karnataka and Bangalore. I'm joined by Dr. Ashwath Narayan, the Deputy Chief Minister. Dr. Ashwath Narayan, first we saw the chaos, the lives lost in Mumbai. Then we saw what happened in Delhi. Now Bengaluru. How has the positivity rate here gone from just 12% a few days ago now to around 40%? Why were there no curbs taken before it got to this stage? You saw what happened in Mumbai and Delhi.
The numbers have been increasing very drastically. This is something which we couldn't even imagine, these kind of numbers. But with regard to the positivity, I just want to make one clarification. We are now testing more and more people with symptoms instead of the people without symptoms. Instead of bringing more load on the lab, to bring more efficiency for the lab, we are now targeting the people with symptoms and the primary contact, to ensure that the report is given in few hours and immediately is detected. Whoever has been detected, we need to start the treatment early and ensure that the disease doesn't escalate. This is basically more than the infection. Once it's been infected, the inflammation sets in. Once the inflammation sets in, only all the symptoms is seen. So we want to act very fast. So the positivity, definitely it is increasing drastically, but more important is the numbers. Even the numbers have been increasing very drastically.
Yes.
And it has become, the numbers have become very challenging. The infrastructure doesn't match with that. And with regard to the oxygen requirement and the people. So we want to simplify everything and ensure that the people detected early and treated early can reduce the burden on the entire system. That is the way forward. This is where we have been looking more.
But Ashwath Narayan ji, we've interviewed so many. I just spoke to Manish Sisodiya ji, and earlier in Mumbai also the health minister. Everyone says, every politician says they couldn't imagine it. But in Bengaluru, you had the advantage that you saw what happened in Mumbai. You saw what happened in Delhi and is still happening. How is it that Bengaluru was not prepared? How did you not imagine this?
Sonia ji, when you see in the Mumbai, even in the first wave, there were very big numbers. Even in the second time, it was a big numbers was there. It was there continuously. The peaking happened first wave, second wave, it happened in very big way. Even that time, even in Bangalore, the reporting of cases was not that high. So they thought what happens in some, that is the, what happens in Mumbai, what happens in Delhi, doesn't happen in Bangalore. That was the thought. Probably it has been proved wrong now. So anyhow, we can't give excuses and reasons, but we need to act and ensure that the people's lives are saved in this direction. Relentlessly, the government has been working. We are putting into, putting and providing all the required things wherever the channelizing has to be done, whatever available, all resources, whatever resource is available beyond our strength, we are trying to mobilize and ensure all the resources facilities been provided for the people.
Right.
In this direction, we have been working very efficiently.
No, I'm sure that everyone is working very hard, but the issue is that, Ashwath Narayan ji, what we saw happening in Mumbai and what in Delhi, what we are seeing still happening, the lack of oxygen, the tragedy that happened in a Karnataka hospital where 23 people died. The opposition has called it murder. Even Bangalore hospitals are now saying an SOS for oxygen. Do you feel there is enough oxygen right now in Bangalore and Karnataka? What are the measures you're taking to prevent these deaths which are because of a lack of oxygen?
Definitely, I'll not tell that we are having sufficient oxygen. Definitely, I'll not tell that, make that statement. But definitely, we are mobilized maximum. See, earlier the consumption was around 150 metric ton to 200 metric ton maximum. Now, every day we have been providing 850 metric ton. And in this direction, we have mobilized wherever, whatever is available, we have been able to mobilize and provide it to our people. That in this direction, we have been working very strongly. Along with this, we are trying to put up the oxygen generators and oxygen concentrators. These are all still in pipeline, and some have come, and still many things are in the pipeline. And we are working in this direction to ensure that the shortage can be mitigated very efficiently. And we are trying to reach out every possible places in this direction. Today we took one more decision to lift cryogenic oxygen tankers to be lifted from different places to our Karnataka. And we are trying to scale up much more and do things in a better way.
Of course, but I think the problem that which is across all states, that we only do it in the emergencies on us, not when we can plan for it, maybe like Kerala is doing. And the big challenge is not just oxygen, but how will you provide now with the number of cases in Bengaluru, over 23,000 cases today, how will you provide more ICU and ventilator beds, especially in this time when there's a scam about bribes for beds in your own city corporation headed by the BJP?
See, we can scale up along with this. In this direction, we are trying to increase the numbers of ICU, ventilators, and oxygenated beds. The problem comes now for the existing bed itself, there is huge demand for oxygen. So in this direction, providing new beds is real challenging, so oxygen will be the biggest deterrent, and we are trying to, the oxygenated beds can be, shuffled among the people, among the 2 or 3 patients also can be done, because they require every 4 hours once the oxygen. So based on that, we are trying to utilize the maximum whatever available resource is there, we are trying to utilize, and as well as with regard to the misuse or some kind of mismanagement with regard to the bed allocation. It has happened. Some of the people have involved and they have done it, and we are trying to set it right. See, this kind of taking advantage of situation, it happens everywhere. Here, as a part of our system only, we were not able to tolerate this. People, whoever is there, we wanted to act on them very toughly. So we decided that whoever is there, we need to expose. So we can't keep covering them, protecting them, because that should not send any wrong message that we are trying to tolerate all these things. See, we didn't wanted to tolerate all these things. We wanted to pinpoint whoever is it,
right.
We'll take action against them. This is not allowed. So in this direction, government has responded very fast, and we are trying to scale up this entire issue and address all this concern.
Right. So, well, Ashwath Narayan, we wish you the best. Bengaluru sadly heading towards the same numbers that Delhi saw some weeks ago. Let's see how that goes, but we wish you the best in your battle. Meanwhile, BJP MP Tejasvi Surya, who exposed the bribes for beds scam, now seems to be in a fresh controversy, because look at these pictures, this video which has come out of what happened when he and BJP MLAs went to the city corporation war room. Absolutely shockingly communal remarks.
ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಇವರನ್ನ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಇವರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. 17 ಜನ: ಮನ್ಸೂರ್ ಅಲಿ, ತಾಯಿರ್ ಅಲಿ ಖಾನ್, ಸಾದಿಕ್ ಬಾಷಾ, ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಜಯದ್, ಅಲ್ಸಾಯ್ ಸಯೀರ್, ಉಮೇರ್ ಖಾನ್, ಸಲ್ಮಾನ್ ಹುರೀಫ್, ಜಮೀರ್ ಪಾಷಾ, ಜಬಿ ಉಲ್ಲಾ ಖಾನ್, ಸೈಯದ್ ಹಸ್ನೈನ್, ಸೈಯದ್ ಶಾಹಿದ್, ಶಹೀದ್ ಶಬಾಸ್, MD ಯೂನಸ್, ಸೈಯದ್ ಮೊಯಿನ್ ಶಾ, ಸೈಯದ್ ಮುಯೇಶ್ ಶಾ, ಅಲ್ಸಾಯಿನ್. Who are these people? ಏನು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರವೇ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಾ? ಬರ್ತಾರ 17 ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ? ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡೋರಾ? ಯಾವ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ? ಆ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕರೆಸಿ. ಯಾವ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅವರು? 17 ಜನ ಏನು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀಯಪ್ಪ? ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮದ್ರಸಾಗೆ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ನೀವು ಫೋನ್ ಎತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು ಜನ ಕ್ಯಾಕರ್ಸ್ ಬೀದಿಗೆ ಉಗಿತಾರ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ನೀವು ಮಾಡೋ ಅವ್ಯವಹಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್? Who appointed this? How can you appoint 17 members like a Hajj committee? ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇವರನ್ನ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು?
So just ridiculous. Why have they brought up the issue of which religion these people are from? Why did they say this is a Hajj or Madarsa? And in fact, now WhatsApp circulating saying that these people are terrorists. So it's become a huge political controversy, even though the 2 people arrested in this are not Muslim at all. Meanwhile, in other news, India's entire delegation to the G7 summit in London is self-isolating, including India's foreign minister, after 2 members of the delegation tested positive for COVID-19. Meanwhile, Dr. Jaishankar in this interview has talked also of how he will be actually attending that meeting virtually, but also in his interview he said that what is coming to India should be looked at as foreign aid, but friendship.
Thank you very much. As I said, COVID is a shared problem for the whole world. Okay. Now just look at last year. When it came, or even this year, when it came to medicines, okay, we gave medicines, hydroxychloroquine, paracetamol, we gave to the United States. Okay. We gave to Singapore, we gave to European countries. We sent a medical team to Kuwait. We gave actually vaccines to some countries in the Gulf. Now, would you have described it as aid? We described it actually as friendship, as support.
So aid, sometimes a touchy word. Meanwhile, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has taken oath as Chief Minister for the 3rd time, also India's only woman Chief Minister. But some political controversy, as today BJP's JP Nadda also said that that Mamata Banerjee has blood on her hands as 14 BJP workers have been killed, according to him. However, many reality checks have shown that some of the videos being circulated are fake videos.
আমি মমতা ব্যানার্জি ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি।
Taking oath for the third time, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the only woman Chief Minister in the country today, she joins a club of just 3 other women who have served as Chief Minister for 3 whole terms and more. Jayalalitha, Mayawati and Rabri Devi. Mamata Banerjee's fight for her third term was monumental. It boiled down to a Mamata versus Modi fight, one that she won decisively. The result could impact India's political future.
Please take proper care যাতে কোনো ভায়োলেন্স কোথাও না হয় এবং কোথাও কোথাও ইলেকশনের পরে কিছু স্পোরাডিক ইনসিডেন্ট হয়। আমি আজ থেকে ল এন্ড অর্ডার ট্যাকেল করব এবং কঠোর হস্তে আমি এগুলো মোকাবিলা করব, এটা আমার সেকেন্ড কাজ।
At the swearing in itself, signals of stormy times ahead. The governor and she sparring over post-poll violence.
যাতে কোনো রকম কোনো অশান্তি কোথাও না হয়, আর যদি কেউ অশান্তি করে তার বিরুদ্ধে কড়া পদক্ষেপ নিতে আমি কিন্তু পেছপা হব না।
The stance of that vandalism, the nature of attacks, killings, injuries, arson, loot, that can't be allowed, that cannot be overlooked, and have my assurance that shall not be overlooked.
At least a dozen people have died and Mamata Banerjee has called for calm. But she and her party have accused BJP of churning out fake news, a claim confirmed by fact-checkers.
अगस्त 1946 जब मैं याद करता हूं, डायरेक्ट एक्शन डे की बात करता हूं, तो मैं उसी के साथ साथ आज जो 2 तारीख की दोपहर के बाद घटनाएं घटी हैं, that also is like a Khela Hobe day.
Mamata Banerjee has flagged BJP's claims as attempts to fan communal tension. JP Nadda, steering BJP protests, locked horns.
BJP is famous for fake news. Their fake news master, Amit Mallavia, is sitting here spreading fake news. But these fake news wallas made no difference to the election. They'll make no difference now.
Third time lucky, they say, but Mamata Banerjee is kicking off her third term with 3 battles to fight: post-poll violence, COVID and the BJP, which is smarting from its defeat and in no mood to ease the pressure on her. With Saurav Gupta, Monadeepa Banerjee, NDTV.
And finally, I want to end with some good news. What India can do when we put our minds to it, even put up oxygen plants in 48 hours at Delhi's top government hospitals.
Setting up oxygen plants on a war footing. At Delhi's All India Institute of Medical Sciences, a medical oxygen plant is getting installed and operational within 48 hours. By Thursday, the plant developed by India's Defence Research and Development Organisation DRDO can cater to 190 patients at a flow rate of 5 litres per minute and charge 195 cylinders per day.
The first 2 units have rolled out of the factory and they have come to Delhi yesterday, and today they are being installed in All India Institute of Medical Sciences and RML, and in all probabilities it should be start working tomorrow onwards. The capacity of this oxygen plant is about 1000 litres per minute.
By the end of the first week of May, 4 more such medical oxygen plants are expected to come up at Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, Safdarjung Hospital, Lady Hardinge Medical College and at AIIMS in Jhajjar, Haryana. It is a war of a different kind against the virus, and interestingly, the medical oxygen plant technology developed by DRDO is based on the on-board oxygen generation for light combat aircraft Tejas. Over the next 3 months, 500 such oxygen plants are to be set up across the country, funded by PM CARES. At Dharamshila Narayana Hospital in Delhi, this oxygen plant, donated by France, has been installed and made operational within a record 18 hours. This can refill 48 cylinders of 40 to 60 litres capacity in 24 hours. With Rajiv Ranjan and Sharat Sharma, Usama Shah for NDTV.